Hey guys, Crewman here. Hi, how are you? I'm here reviewing InWin's new case, the Prism. I first talked about this at CES, and I know you'll see that I'm using my cell phone. Hi! But that's the point. I wanted to showcase that this build has a two-way glass mirror as its side panel. That's kind of the big selling point of this case, and that's what I'm going to focus on mostly in this review. So you can see here that, I mean, look at the side. Basically, it's just a mirror. So you can see me here. Go Birds. But that's the big stick of this case, right? It's really kind of funny because look at this is a mat that I use to play tabletop games, and you can see it almost kind of looks camouflage with how it reflects the mat. That's kind of funny. Like, it almost looks like it's not even there. Camouflage, right? So this is really cool. You know, PC cases are PC cases are PC cases. But once in a while, you get something original. And I don't care if some people will call this a gimmick or not. I think this is pretty cool, right? Like, I'm basically using this as a mirror for myself. Hi! But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of this thing, right? So I don't have anything built in it yet, but I can tell you from seeing this thing in action at CES that when you do have a lot of RGB in here, the two-way glass effect isn't as apparent. So I think this is best if, you know, used in like a more stealth build. But the cool thing is you can still build RGB in here. You can just turn the RGB off. I will be doing a build in this case, and I will be showing you, how you have RGB on and RGB off with it. So I am really excited to do that. InWin sent me a few other parts, and I will be doing that at a later date. But I did just want to go over this part. This is the beginning of the review, and this will be a little bit different than a typical case review because I'm going to focus more on the panel than anything else, because this is really the shtick, right? Like, this is it. Like, look how cool this is. You could basically see my entire room, and I still can't get over the camouflage-like effect it has when paired or when put on my workbench / gaming space. I'm not a big enough YouTuber yet where I have my own dedicated space, so I got to make do. All right, so without further ado, we're going to open this thing up, and we're going to focus more on a traditional review. We're going to show you everything about it, and I do want to show you that this only extends to the side panel. The front is normal mesh, but the side mirror has this too. So it's pretty sweet, it's pretty interesting. Without further ado, let's get to the rest of the case. Okay, so let's open this up. This is what it looks like open. Now, spoiler alert, I opened up the back already and moved some of the wires around just to take a look at it. I always do like a first pass before I start a case review, because I don't really want to have you guys watch me fumble around. That might be a more authentic experience, but I would rather show you the things I like and don't like about a case. All right, so we open it up. It comes with 4 pre-installed fans, 3 on the sides and 1 on the back. I think it's an interesting choice they're on the sides and not on the front, but I guess it has more to do with the way this case is set up, so that kind of makes sense. This is, it's not, I don't know, I wish it was a little bit more durable. It's plastic, but it's a premium feeling plastic. It looks like it will hold the fans just fine, but I guess I just wish it didn't move as much as it did. As far as airflow goes, it looks like the mesh panel gives you plenty of room for intake air to come in. And another thing that I like and I don't like is, if you can see up here, it has an RGB strip. Now, the one thing I wish is it wasn't hanging off like this. If you'll see, it's hanging off. I wish they did a better job. Like, it's a premium RGB strip, right? Like, it's not one of those chintzy ones that's put on with double-sided tape. It's screwed on there. But I wish they put a screw in the middle. Maybe they couldn't, but I feel like there would be a way to have it not hang down. I don't know if it will matter. It might, but it might not. It's one of those things where you might not see it, and the point of it is to give, an RGB hue to the case, which it does that. And I've never seen that before, so that is definitely cool. And again, there is RGB right here as well, so that's neat. In terms of the drives, it definitely has enough holes to put all of your wires from the motherboard wherever they need to go. so I like that. It can support any kind of motherboard, which is also nice. With how large GPUs are these days, I mean, we're talking about, this is the last generation 4090, and look how big it is. I feel like I would have liked to see some kind of built-in bracket, as I've seen from other manufacturers, but it's not here. You know, you can always add your own. It's not a big deal, but everything else looks fine. You know, nothing looks off. The quality looks solid. You can put the, you know, whatever kind of radiator you need in here, which let's show you that right now. All right. So here is the top panel, and it has a filter that's removed pretty easily, and you can put your radiator on here. Looks like it supports every size radiator, judging by the holes on the top. So that's good. It's just something that every case should have at this point. And if you look at the top panel, it's got your standard off button, 2 RGB USB-C headphone, and I want to say that's an RGB button. So I'll go look at the instructions. But yeah, inside of it looks good. No frills, no thrills. All right, now here are the wires in the back I want to show you. Now I do wish that they were a little more neat. I mean, it's not that they weren't neat, but I've seen other builds where they're Velcroed and zip tied nice together, easy to sort. This took a minute to sort, but it does come with everything you'll need. It's got the motherboard cables you'll need, the front I/O panel, you know, basically everything you'll need to get this thing working. And then you can see the 3 fans in the back. It comes pre-installed with 3 LED 120mm fans. Now I'm looking to see if they're PWM. They're actually installed upside down on this unit, which I honestly don't think matters. I get why they do it, to make the cable managing easier. It looks like they're DC, which is fine. I mean, I guess I kind of would have liked to see PWM for the price, but it's okay. They come with a simple fan, not a fan controller, just a fan splitter, which is fine. Now up here is an RGB controller. Let me show you. I'm always a fan of RGB controllers that are up top and kind of more hidden. And it's got enough room for well, it's got the 4 fans connected so far. One of these fans is daisy chained, which is fine. And then it has obviously the one you connect to the motherboard. It's just good to see that a case of this magnitude should come with an RGB header, so it's nice to see they have that. And yeah, everything's where you want it to be. Like I said, I do wish the cable management would have been better. So this is the bag that everything comes in. Here's the instructions, which I don't mind that. It comes with a lot of zip ties, which is nice, and some Velcro and extensions and enough screws. But I'm mostly a fan of the zip ties. I just like how there's so many zip ties. It definitely looks like there's enough room for your SSDs. As far as any hard disk drives, it doesn't come with any bays for hard disk drives. You know, I'm okay with that. I would have maybe liked to see that, but it's not a big deal. It is nice that there is some RGB back here, and that's already pre-connected into the RGB header. So this case does not lack for RGB, and there is ample room to build in. If you see my finger, this is the length between the back and the outside of it, so that's nice. As far as reinstalling the back plate goes, you just line these 2 holes up, drop it in, push it in, and that's it. There's no screws. I'm always a fan of screwless back and front plates. And you can see the grill covers the fans. As far as the price goes for this case, do I think it's worth it? Well, currently it goes for about $240, and you're paying for the side panel. This is pretty impressive technology. It's really neat, and like I said, look how cool it looks with the glass panel reflecting on the mat that I have on here. Now, it's definitely an interesting review to film because you can see me filming it with the mirror. It's definitely not easy to do solo, and this is one of the times I wish I had an editor on it. But the build quality is very good, right? When you got to remember, when you're talking, you know, $250 plus, you're starting to get really close to the 300 or so of the HS420, which you can see back there, and that's currently my favorite case on the market. So is this worth it? It entirely depends on what you think about the two-way tempered glass panel. If you are finally like, wow, something interesting that I can show off to my friends, then it's absolutely worth it. If you're just like, meh, this is just an average case with a gimmick on it, then it's obviously not worth it for you. As far as for me, I'm very excited to build on this, and I admit that seeing the camouflage aspect of it makes me almost want to like build a desk around it, where you have like a mat or like some wallpaper where it all matches and the build looks completely camouflaged. That would be really neat, and maybe something I'll do in the future. But is it worth it to me? I'd like it to cost $50 to $75 less, if we're being honest. I'd like that $100 or so extra to use on a power supply or an AIO or an air cooler. So I think it's a little too expensive, but I still think it's an awesome product for what it's trying to do, right? This two-way glass panel looks great. I see no issues. It's clean. There's a little bit of stuff up here, but you know, it comes with a cloth, and I'm sure this thing will get dusty or gunky, and I'm actually just wiping that off right now with no issue. So that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. This was definitely one of the most challenging reviews to film, as I'm in front of the mirror the entire time. All right, that's it for this one. I'll put a link down below. Thank you so much to InWin for sending me this case, and they sent me some other parts. So this is not the last you'll see of this case. I'll be doing a build soon, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this glass panel worth the price? Let me know what you think. Peace out.